And start it whenever you want, so...
One sec. I'll be ready in just a moment then.
Cool.
Alright, tweeted.
Cool.
Alright. Let's go. Okay, assuming that I am currently live and audible for you all right now, hello everybody, my name is TempestMask1000 and welcome back to Obscurathon. I've got a couple of games that I'll be showing for you all today, a couple of personal things that I've been quite attentive to as of recent. This first game is a run that I actually officially started as like the first actual runner, and it is a little fan game that took something of a long-lost demo to the long-canceled Mega Man Legends 3, originally meant to come out for Nintendo 3DS, and made it into a classic 8-bit inspired experience that takes some Legends elements and gives you what could have been and what should have been. Now, the reason it's called Mega Man Legends 3, the Prologue, is that this game, or rather Mega Man Legends 3 itself, was supposed to be split into two games. The first being the Prologue, so basically Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, and then Legends 3 itself, aka the equivalent to Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. And it would have been an interesting idea, certainly something that I don't think Konami had already planned at the time. But alas, this was an effort by Get Me Off the Moon, this demake, and so I hope you all enjoy, because this is the estimate I gave myself was actually before I did a more recent run of this and completely destroyed it. So because I'm the only runner, I hear that Obscurathon has been having quite a few world records going on, so assuming my PB for this run, then that'll definitely be another world record for me, technically speaking. But with that, let's get this thing going, and we'll be doing this on normal difficulty. So I'll be jumping into story mode for this run because the game itself consists of 4 main levels, and the only way to access the 4th is through story mode. But before we get to that, I will quickly show off the options because we do have a lock-on feature, and I have it set to switch. Switch referring to I press the lock-on button, it locks on. I press it again, it locks off. Hold speaks for itself. You just hold the button to keep the lock maintained, and then auto is just auto lock-on. Without further ado, let's get this timer going, and it'll start when I select normal. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so in the prologue, you're supposed to play, instead of MegaMan Volnutt, as a new character who is supposed to go by the name of Barrett. Barrett is a Garter, which is a gang that uses fly chasers, and the Garter gang Barrett's a part of is known as the Bright Bats. So it's a little story about a guy that has a good heart despite his punkish nature on the outside and all that good jazz, I guess you could say. And the intent of the prologue was to allow you to play as him so that after the events of this game, you would supposedly have MegaMan Volnutt, the longtime protagonist of the Legends franchise, freed from the space station Elysium after the events of Legends 2, which hence the name of the group being called Get Me Off the Moon. So this mission, Attack on Tiomo, has 3 giant Reaver bots that shoot missiles, just like the one I took care of right there. I only have 2 more to destroy, and that'll be the end of this mission. I'm going to go to the bottom path because you can take on the split path in any order you so choose, but this one's faster because the other one has Yoku blocks. And as you all know, we do not like Yoku blocks because they waste time. So it's better to take care of this guy first. And you notice that Barrett doesn't just shoot, but he can also melee combo. So the idea is that when I'm close to an enemy, the melee combo happens, and this guy, normally I have to shoot him when the eye's open, but the melee combo totally negates that. So it's a nice little, I guess, optimization. Now the reason I'm trying to wait for this crab-like Reaver bot to get under here is because he's way too tanky. So to try and take care of him would be way too dangerous. And one thing I want to immediately mention about this game is that despite it being short, they tried to compensate it by making it a bit challenging. So you have limited lives as per traditional Mega Man rules, but in Legends 3 Demake, how this one works is you also have continues, not unlike Blaster Master, the American version, the US version. So if I were to get a game over, then I would only have a finite amount of continues left, and should I run out, then that would be bad. Now, unfortunately, that was a death, obviously, but no problem. The reason I picked up that life at the very beginning was because its convenient placement makes it more than something of a necessary safety to me. Oh, geez. And case in point about that crab-like Reaver bot, that's certainly not good luck right there. But anyway, let's keep on going. Barrett also has, in case you didn't notice, a special meter for 2 special attacks that are determinate based on whether I press the dedicated button on the ground or in the air. One is a Hadouken-like attack, because as you all know, Mega Man does occasionally like to reference Street Fighter. And then the other is a dive kick. Now this was planned within the original schematics of Legends 3 itself. This was supposed to be a part of his moveset. Unfortunately, wait, what? Barrett? Oh, that's... Well then. That's never happened before. Okay. I apologize. I'm gonna have to reset the game for that one. We're gonna have to restart this run right away because I think I just effectively soft-locked myself. That's... Okay. I apologize. Let's quickly take care of that. So I'm just going to reload the game right away. Don't worry, we'll make this very seamless, but I'm going to try and be very careful from here on out. A little unexpected foresight or whatnot. Oh, that's... Whew, okay. Whatever. Let's try that again. So as I said, this is Attack on Tiomo, the first of 4 missions in this game. And I need to destroy these missile-shooting Reaver bots. There are 3 of them in this mission, and right away what I can do is go ahead, collect this one up, and ensure that should I get a game should I die, I'll have a bit of safety for what it's worth. Oh, hey. No. I will not allow that. Thank you very much. So, let's talk about the Reaver bots, because these guys take after standard Legends design affair and all that good jazz. So you would probably recognize the green bomb-shooting fellas as like one of the more common moves of the Legends franchise and all that stuff. So let's try that again. So as I mentioned, the idea is to punch these guys and take care of their health, because that way I won't have to wait for the eye to open, but if it does open, I can still shoot it, and using the lock-on feature really does help. It's one of the nice things about Legends. Now, as for the text, you notice that there's no text scrolling, it all comes at once. In-game cutscenes, though, I cannot skip with the start button, while other cutscenes I can with the select button, if you will. In air quotations, because keep in mind I am using an Xbox Series XS controller. I don't own the next-gen console, but I'm using that controller anyway. Because yay for universal connectivity. Ah, shoot. I'm gonna have to be very careful though. Like, this is definitely not my best performance of Attack on Tiomo, but it's a little expected because, like I said, this game may be short, but they try to make up for it in challenge. And your mileage may vary, but there's something about this game that I feel like it deserved quite a bit of attention in the speed department, and I'm still very happy to show it off for you all. So what I think happened with the latter issue was that, as you noticed, Barrett can run up walls when he's using his run action, which is my main fast movement. I guess there was something that must have happened when he stopped running, and the game must have thought, oh, well, you passed by the level level transition, so we're just going to not... since you didn't touch it, I guess we're not going to change rooms right now. I don't know. So I'm just going to try and quickly grind for a little bit of health, because as you noticed, destroying the missiles can give you some refills, which is especially helpful. And with how low my health is looking right now, then again, I could use the special attacks. My mind's going a mile a minute when I speedrun. It happens to the best of us. Okay. Gotta try not to get hit one more time. Just a little more. Oh, man. There we go. Sheesh. Well, game. You certainly made an interesting case on that one. Alright. But no worries, because the second mission is very simple and to the point. So coming up, we have a boss fight against a policewoman by the name of Denise. Because Barrett is a garter, which is, again, a type of gag thing in the Legends universe, she's not too happy about Barrett's attitude toward her, and we kind of tick her off. So she's going to use this machine that our friend and navigator Arrow, who you're about to see on the back of our fly chaser, her father may have invented for the police force. So this is a boss fight, as I mentioned, and the way it works is, well, first of all, get ready to hear that Buster fire a lot, because that's what I need to do. But the idea is there are two weak points: the cockpit of the machine, and then that little glowy buttony thing, and that makes up the entire health. Now, okay, that was pretty good, because when Denise throws a bomb, I can use Arrow's racket with the special attack button to reflect it back at her, which causes the damage. Okay, so now I just have to rely on hitting the cockpit. This is where things can get a bit tricky, but the nice thing about our fly chaser is that if I hold the jump button while in midair, we do sort of hover down a bit, which is very convenient. Okay, not so much with the jump, though. Now, if she doesn't toss a bomb, there are two types of missiles. The golden one just goes like straight down and fast, while the other kind... Oh man, I just destroyed the bomb. Oops. Oh, but hey, there's another one? Wait, why did that one disappear? Game, are you okay? Okay, I guess we're not relying on the bombs anymore. Those are officially busted. This run is having me discover things I didn't even realize about the game. That's kind of hilarious, but you know what? I'm all for it. So, the gray missiles, as I was trying to say, those home in on you. I guess at best this gives me one less thing to be distracted on, so that I gotta keep in mind the cars, because as you noticed, running into those does damage to you, and we do not want to die. And just one more hit should do it. That's the mission. So now we're already on to mission 3, which leaves us with 2 more things, and now I got a lot of cutscenes skipping to do. After we've evaded Denise, we basically just move along and stuff, but unfortunately our fly chaser explodes. So now we need to get a new one, and in the MegaMan Legends universe, there are people called diggers that mainly occupy this world. They're treasure hunters that usually search ruins for refractor crystals, which are a source of renewable energy within Terra, or as the Earth is referred to in this game. So, in this mission, which is, I guess you could say, the average Mega Man stage length, I'm going to want to go through these ruins. You're going to see a lot of different things, and then there will be a boss at the end before we get to mission 4, which is the final one. Now, this also can be a bit of a troublesome area, and for one reason, the boss. But we also have some enemies that are greatly inspired from Mega Man 2 that can also take out a bit of my health. Now, I did want to mention the dodge roll mechanic, because when you see Barrett doing his dodge roll, he's completely invulnerable during the period, at least when you see his sprite flashing. Whenever he's out of it, he's vulnerable to damage again, but you can supposedly, with good enough timing, you can supposedly chain it so that you can avoid damage. But anyway, here are the aforementioned Mega Man 2 Reaver bots. These guys are basically like the giant Wolfo Doggo fire-breathing things within Woodman's stage. All I need to do is just hit them with as much locked-on shots as I can, and then, yeah, that's basically it. Now, you'll notice that when I do the dive kick, I have a bit of high frames going for it, at least once I've landed the attack on something or some target. But it also has homing properties, as this room intends to demonstrate for you, the player. I just need to lock onto something, and then boom, I'm up. Those enemies, by the way, cause an explosion that can indeed damage you if you're not too careful. Now we have this giant fish spot, and well, that's not going to be good. So I wanted to get that refractor crystal to recover my SP a bit, because SP and special attacks, especially the dive kick anyway, will be very useful for this level's boss. And I'm already taking a bit too much damage than I want to. Okay, this will be interesting. I still have a fair amount of lives left though, and enemies are capable of dropping extra lives as well. So it shouldn't be that much of a problem, really. Oh boy. Except for the fire breath, which, if you haven't noticed, these guys tend to change the direction based on Barrett's position. Alright. This has definitely been a interesting run so far. But not the worst thing. I have certainly been through worse situations as a speedrunner myself. Nothing to it. Alright. Let's see if I can't grind for a bit of health here, because that's probably advisable. Alright, that's not gonna work. Unless I could do that, actually. Oh, that still got me. Oh, wow. Okay, let's try that again. Now, I mentioned that this game is limited continues. If I game over and do continue, that does put me back at the beginning of the stage, so that will be a bit of time lost if that were to happen. And I also mentioned there are limited continues, so, you know, I don't want to run out of all of them. But, oh hey, well, the game knows, because I just got an extra life from that guy. Nice. Also, shout out to LOZ Cards fan, 23. Alright, let's keep shooting, keep shooting. At this point, there's really not much else to say. So let's just go ahead and, I'll give myself a bit of... Actually, no, there is a bit more to say, because one thing I forgot to mention about the water is that Barrett can indeed drown. Whenever you're in water for too long, your health will start to decrease, and if you're in there for too long, then you will indeed die, and that's never fun. So I'm just going to do a little bit of farming here. I do apologize for all the blaster sounds. I know it can be a bit excessive, but rapid fire is just how it is in Mega Man Legends, more or less. Ah, heck. If it wasn't obvious, destroying those little floaty enemies is something I want to be careful in doing, because those explosions can hurt me. Let's try that one more time. I still want maybe one or two big SP recoveries. I can pick up that little one right there. Oh, snap. Time loss is time loss, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Oh, hey, another life. Speaking of. Hey. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, so now I'm just going to run over and try to avoid this big fish guy. And there we go, first try. Ah, yeah, I didn't have to grind for health, because I could have taken the top treasure chest, and that would have given me a health recovery, while the bottom one would have been a mimic. And you all know those are not fun. Technically, I despawned the crab enemy, because there's one waiting by the boss door right there, so that's nice. Okay, so I'm going to skip... wrong button. I can skip that cutscene, and what's the one character that you usually like to see in a Mega Man Legends game? You already saw the mission prompt right there. The answer is the Bonds. The Bond family has brought the Donner Whales mech, which is a contraption that uses electrical attacks, and I want to be very careful of that, because if I get hit by one, then it will, well, as you're about to see right there, that little electric effect around me means that my movement has been slowed down, and that it makes evasion with simple movement a bit of a pain, but it's not the worst thing. this could be a bit of a casual, difficulty spike to some, but once you've figured out how the whole fight works, it's not all that bad, really. Now, as you've noticed, I can actually knock this thing down by using the dive kick, which is very helpful, and I can use it to interrupt any attack, which is especially good because when you see it charging up electricity, it can't get hit, so I can just do that, and there we go. Still got a bit more health to pull through, though. Let's just get a few more hits in, and they are down. Nice dive kick to finish it off, and that's mission 3. We are moving on to mission 4 now, and this can definitely make or break things because I'm now going to go through a bit of a gauntlet room. So this is just a straightforward hallway, also hi Tron, by Tron. This final mission is us going to Elysium because Barrett has been informed by Roll here about the situation with MegaMan at Elysium, and so Barrett agrees to help recover him, Yuna, and Sarah. And so this final mission is a straightforward hallway with a few Reaverbot gauntlet rooms. I need to destroy all Reaverbots in the rooms in order to unlock the locks. And then we will reach the final boss, and that'll be the game. So I'm still looking to be on pretty good pace for a PB, all things considered, but I mean, hey, anything can happen in a speedrun. I proved it earlier with having to reset the game after that very unexpected soft block. I also proved that point with the unexpected bomb despawning from Denise. Yeah, things can happen in games. We all know that, though. I think it all comes to us in one way, shape, or form. So this guy is weak with its... The weak point of this guy was the arms. I just had to destroy all of them in order to get rid of the main body and then push on through, so the Hadouken was very helpful in that case. Then I got to destroy these dispensers that get rid of these, the common Reaverbot mooks, except now they're on fire. So if anyone could get some This Is Fine emotes or fire emotes going in the chat, that would be great. Otherwise, that's that room. The third one's going to be a little different, though. So if you all are familiar with The Legend of Zelda, there's an enemy that that will appear on the floor, and it's generally similar to a like-like. The idea is that yep, there we go. That little effect right there is it trying to grab me, and I want to avoid that at all costs. Not only does it deal damage, but it also just gets really annoying. So now I just gotta take care of those spider bots. They have a lot of health though, so this will definitely take a while, but I will use my special attacks to expedite that just a bit. Oh, this could be bad though. Now, this is the last gauntlet room before we reach the boss, and there is a full health recovery and weapon SP recovery awaiting us once I manage to, get there, but that was a bit sad. So, a death in this mission means I have to go all the way back to the beginning, but that's no problem because there is the checkpoint behind the boss hallway itself. So it's not the worst case scenario, but that does mean I'm going to have to do it again, and it's somewhat expected. It certainly happened with the last run at least once, so, you know, again, not the end of the world. Alright. Let's just Hadouken some more, and there we go. So I'm looking a little low on SP, but I might get a bit more once I take care of these guys. Maybe a bit of health at this point would be nice, though, because normally that chest before room number 3 usually gives me health, based on experience anyway. But I guess it can be a bit random, so no big deal. I'll probably get that, yeah. Not a bad idea. Oh, and hey, punching those Reaverbots does push them back. There are some small but very nice details that this game has going for it that I quite respect. Alright, so now... Okay, yeah, SP Crystal because my HP was at full. I don't know what happens if I were to cross the laser grid lines normally, but I would imagine that the treasure chest goes away, so that's never fun. Alright, there we go. A little damage boosting, no problem. Oh right, I also forgot to mention that here you can tell that in this room, the gravity is doubled, meaning I have moon gravity, basically. Or water physics, if you want to call it that too, I guess. Even though there's really no water to be found here. Whoa! Almost let that guy snatch me up. That would have been bad. Right, just a little bit more. And there we go. So now I just got to get to the room. That floor enemy's still there, but I can't take care of him, so the room just lets me pass. And there's a Yashichi, or Yashiki, or whatever you pronounce it as, that you can collect at Wily's last level in Mega Man 1. A really cool reference. Okay, one last boss, and it's a Reaverbot that's shaped like a tree. This is a concept that was seen in the plans for Mega Man Legends 3, so obviously Get Me Off the Moon wanted to adapt that in here. Now the weak point is that body. So when the leg lifts up, I want to shoot or use the Hadouken special move to get in as much damage. This is a story-dictated fight, though. And what I mean by that is if you're familiar with Mega Man X1, similar to Vile in the Central Highway stage, I can't defeat this boss as Barrett. So what I'm going to need to do instead is just get it to half health, and then things will proceed, and then we should be in the safe zone. Otherwise, I hope you all are enjoying this game so far. If you all are interested in trying it out for yourself, Get Me Off the Moon does have a Facebook page that has a download link, and you can get this for free, both in English and Japanese. I haven't tested which version is a bit more optimal yet, but because of the way you can skip cutscenes and with the way text is, I would imagine that it's fair game all the same. There's quite a bit of potential still to be seen in Legends 3 2D that I'm hoping there will at least be some people willing to experience that with me. So, yeah, feel free to give this game a look-see for yourself. The leaderboard itself is at the Mega Man RT Leaderboards webpage under the Fan Games section. And I would very much like to thank Joka, one of the mods, for having opened it up on my request. And I'm just very glad to have supported a game that I think is this neat little diamond in the rough. And, you know, just because we haven't seen a lot of fully playable Mega Man Legends fan games in recent, so, you know, this is very nice. This game is technically, want to say 7 to 8 years old, because it did come out in 2014, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to just try to be focusing a bit more, so a bit of silence time for me. Alright, I'm going to go for the Hail Mary in just a second. Oop, that was close. Alright. And there we go. We've reached the save point, so Barrett is going to get weakened by a thunder attack here, and all seems a bit lost at first. Until... wait for it. Bam! Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the theme of Tronbon from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And now, for the rest of the game, I get to play as Mega Man Volnutt. I cannot lose health as him, so I cannot die as him, and for the rest of this fight, it'll just be me trying to beat this guy as fast as I can. Volnutt has a charge shot. I can use half charge shots. A full one will break the leg to expose the weak point easily. And now I will also obviously want to dodge roll, because if I get hit by the lightning attack, that will stun me, or rather slow me down for a bit, so, you know, same as Barrett, not the best. Alright, not too bad so far. And time will be on the final hit, so I'll be hitting that maybe a millisecond late, but no problem. I did get hit by the shock attack, no big deal again, because again, you can't lose health, so... You know, it's a nice little cherry on top to cap off your experience, and... Oop, almost there. Almost there, come on. time. 22:22.31. That is not a PB, but it is very well close. So I am perfectly cool with that, and we still managed to keep this quite under estimate, which is awesome. All right, so I would like to show off the credits, but that would just take a while because I can't skip through this cutscene. So instead, I'm going to just try and get through as much dialogue as I possibly can. Otherwise, we'll just jump into my next run, which will be Mega Man Extreme 2. But I would like to give a few shout-outs to, first off, the Mega Man Legends speedrun community. I haven't made contact with them yet, but I can say I've seen a few speedrunners in action, and they are wonderful people. So I'll give a quick shout-out to Blue Metal. And also, if you'd like to join any of the Mega Man speedrunning Discord communities, there are links within the Mega Man RTA leaderboards page where you can just find all these server links and you can jump in whenever. And yeah, they generally like new people, so don't be shy to say hi. If you're a fan of Mega Man Classic, Mega Man X, Mega Man Legends, Zero, ZX, Battle Network, or Star Force, then yeah, there's definitely a community for it. All right, so I'd also like to give a shout out to Get Me Off the Moon for making this game possible. Actually, this was a crowd-funded effort, so I'd also like to give thanks to those that helped them make this possible. And to the development team itself, of course. I am aware that there was a guest composer and guest illustrator, and I think one of the two actually worked on some of the old Mega Man games, so that's really, really nice that they were able to get them on board for this. It is my hope that one of these days Capcom will revive Mega Man Legends 3, because that is exactly what Get Me Off the Moon banded together for. And I know that deep down there are a lot of fans that want to see the series get the conclusion it deserved. So keep on believing, y'all, and maybe one day we will see to it. But for now, Capcom, thank you for Mega Man. And I hope to see more and more within the near future. But here's that little scene that I wanted to show you all real quick. Sarah's opting to stay behind because she kind of did bad things in the second game, so she's trying to ask us to get Yuna and Mega Man off of here. But he's not one for that because he knows his mission is to get everyone off of there, and he's going to do it one way or another. A very funny moment. Also, a quick shout out to the lovely detail where you can see his little metallic plate in the right position even when he's facing left or right. Nice stuff. All right, so that's going to be it on that's going to be it for Mega Man Legends 3, the Prologue 2D version. Coming up next will be Mega Man Extreme. I'll be doing the any % Extreme category, and that's the true ending for the game. So if you want to stick around for that, go ahead. Otherwise, I do try to stream whenever I can at TempestMask1000 on Twitch, and I'd love to see you all, whether you want to say hi or just lurk. But with that, we'll be right back, so don't touch that dial.